meeting to order. Please join me for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Today's date is March 14th. It's the City Council regular meeting. Call to order, or pledge of allegiance. I'm sorry, I'm thinking a roll call. Kurt, can you do that for me, please?
Yeah. Councilmember Carlson.
Here.
Councilmember Hutchison.
Here.
Councilmember Reagan. Here. Councilmember Johnson is absent. Mayor Yoder.
Here. So the full council except Steve Johnson is absent. Any additions or deletions to the agenda?
I do have there's a typo on the agenda of the upcoming minutes of important dates. I have the Board of Appeal and Equalization. I put Friday, April 19th. It's actually on a Tuesday this year. It's been Friday the last few years, but it's Tuesday, April 19th. And the other, I do have a addition of resignation of the clerk treasurer and approval to post the clerk treasurer position. And I assume we put it back at the end of new business.
Anything else? Anyone have anything else? If not, make a motion to, need a motion to approve the addition.
So moved.
Motion made by Reagan, looking for a second.
Second.
Second by Hutchinson. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, looking for a motion to consent agenda from A to E.
I will make that motion.
Motion made by Carlson, looking for a second. Second by Reagan. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Excuse me. Agenda request, looks like the hospital district board update. Lana Hanson.
Okay, Tim Rice is going to be doing it, and
Perfect.
Lisa Vera.
Sounds good, guys.
So, my understanding is you do have handouts. We're not going to go through word for word on all, but I looked at your agenda and oh my goodness, you have a lot of things, so I'll try to be efficient on use of the time.
I'll give it one.
Yeah, but I do think it's important really to really cover some key things that have occurred this last year. So if you go into it, we'll go to page 2, I think. It's not a surprise to you that our biggest challenge this last year was COVID. That was definitely an experience that we've never had before in any form. You know, going through, first of all, the year before, shutting down, waiting for it to happen. And then it came at a later period of time, and then when it did, it sure hit in full force. I think the biggest challenge we had is that every hospital, you know, in the state was full. So we had critical patients that before we would transfer out, we couldn't. And we had to, our staff and our physicians, they had to identify how were they going to care for them, and they did. They did a tremendous job in preparing for it and doing that kind of work. It also meant we had to shut down different departments because the hospital was so full and the demand was so great in the emergency department and up on the floor. Basically shut down departments and transferred people up to the floor. But basically, everybody's job changed to do what you had to do during that period of time. So what we thought, I mean, it had to be like a 2-year emergency situation. I cannot say enough about our employees and physicians who really, the work that they did during that time. We also, you know, have senior housing, so we also have the challenge of the care center and our Pines in the Manor. You know, and how do we make sure that we are effectively keeping them safe? We know you probably saw on the news that population got hit pretty hard. we felt, and we really kept that to a minimum here because of the operations and the staff and what they did. And so, again, that was really a key part of this last year. However, things still, as an organization, still kept moving forward. If you look on pages 3 and 4, are just pictures of some of the new providers that we have. I have to admit, the older I get, the younger they look. It's just, so, but that's a great thing. We've got a lot of new young talent that are coming in and a lot of different experience. So we're just proud of that opportunity to come to Lakewood. Page 5, we've also got another new OBGYN coming, another psychiatrist. So we continue to recruit. We did have, Dr. Freeman did retire, Dr. Schleicher, the podiatrist, retired. Dr. Halfin is retiring this summer, and now Dr. Iselson will be retiring in the middle of this year. So, I don't know what it says, but I remember when they started, and now they're already retiring. So, but then we also had some that left. Brittany Gaditz is now working in Brainerd where she lives. Maggie Everett's on the bottom, moved out of town. And the two Kellys opened up their own clinic over on Cross Lake. So, but if you go to page 6, I think the key thing is right now we have to credential providers, and right now we have 334 credential providers here at Lakewood, and if you take the number that are actually here part and living right here part of this, we have 66, and I know when we started in 80 we had 2, so it's changed a little bit over the years. As far as employees, you can see the number that's on page 7. Our number of employees have been declining, but primarily, like everybody else, we're experiencing the challenge of workforce. So right now, we have about 60 open positions. And, you know, and that's one of the reasons, even on our care center, we're licensed for 90, you got decertified. 87. But we have originally 100. But even there, we're only staffing it for like 67. You can't find enough people to do the work. We have enough demand. If we did, we could fill it. But it's those kind of situations. But we know that we're not alone on this workforce challenge. Now, we are proud of our care center. It's ranked 17th out of 346, one of the top 5%. And then they base them on stars. We're 5 out of 5 stars. And Lakewood actually was in the media last week that they identified the top 500 hospitals in the U.S. and we were one of them. Counting metro rural, they lumped together, and we were mentioned in that article. And so, but again, I want to give credit. You know, how does that occur? You know, I think we all know it's our people who work for us, you know, and our providers, and you know, and that's the reason, you know, that we received those recognition. So, Lisa, again, just go over some of the operational updates.
Yeah, page 8, the blue page, just a snapshot of the volumes we've seen across the system, from clinic visits to births, home care visits. You can see we did 19, 20, 21, because 20 was kind of an anomaly, so trying to show a normal year if we have any normal anymore. But you can see our number of surgeries. We just delivered births. We delivered 452 babies in 21. So social distancing was not happening everywhere. Surgeries did go up quite a bit, 2,300 to over 3,500 in 2021. And a lot of that relates to, on the next page, you can see we did start a partnership in 2021 with Twin Cities Orthopedics. Historically, Lakewood has utilized Northern Orthopedics out of Brainerd for our orthopedic care. They did get bought out by Essentia a few years ago, and with that, Essentia, as they were hurting for coverage for orthopods in Brainerd, they were pulling coverage from Lakewood. And so our coverage was declining kind of year over year, little by little. And so in order to secure that service line at Lakewood, we did look at other options. And Twin City Orthopedics was interested in coming to the market. And so it was a great partnership. So these 4 doctors on here do rotate. They're on site 1 solid week at a time. And then, so basically they're here 1 week out of the month. We are working at recruiting a full-time orthopedic surgeon to the Staples, Motley area that would live in our community in addition to these 4 rotating surgeons. On the next page, just an overview of the financial update from the year. These are preliminary numbers that were before our audit was complete, but throughout the year, our operating cash did increase over $10 million. We hit 300 days cash on hand, and what that means basically is a day's cash on hand is about $250,000. So So it costs Lakewood $250,000 a day to keep our doors open. So if today we stopped receiving any payments from any of our payers or our patients, we could pay our bills for another 300 days without another dollar coming in. Our goal is to keep that over 180 days, but we've been really kind of, definitely watching our spend on capital and some strong operations, and so we are at over 300 right now. Our net income for 21 was $7.3 million. That did include about $3 million of CARES funds or provider relief funds due to COVID, as well as about $1.7 million on our investment account that happened in 21. Very important, no levy again this year, so we will not be levying the townships, and we will not be increasing our prices for the eighth year in a row. Looking forward to 2022, our goals remain the same, shooting for a 3% margin, and like I said, 180 days cash on hand. And just one kind of note to highlight there, we did have growth of about $25 million in 2021, despite having rate increases. So all of that was from additional volume across the system. If you move on to the next page, we have quite a bit of remodeling happening at the main campus. With that growth comes more need for space, and so our lab that is in the original footprint of when we moved into the new hospital in 2006 is busting at the seams, literally. They can't move around in there, so we are moving them downstairs to some shell space that we are now remodeling. In addition, we're moving infusion therapy down to this space. It has all windows that face the prairie, and so it'll be a very nice space for infusion therapy for our oncology patients. Once those two spaces are remodeled upstairs, we're going to utilize that space to expand our sterile processing area, which basically is where we clean the equipment for our operating rooms. So as that volume's increased, that room has become too small, and so we need additional space for that. Two other items to note, our respiratory therapy and sleep studies will be moving together also in the basement of the main campus. Right now, sleep studies happen over at the old hospital, or the senior campus as we call it. So just some construction projects that are happening right now. It's on hold for 3 weeks.
Yep.
Because we can't get supplies in. So supply chain issues are definitely impacting construction. I think it was like a 12-week wait for some doors. So I'm moving that forward as fast as we can. On the next page is just a summary of our grant work throughout the year. We have really focused on grant writing, grant funding over the past couple of years. And in 2021, we did receive over $600,000 in grant funding, and this is just a breakdown of kind of the different buckets of where those grants were received. And then foundation, back to you.
Yeah, just pages 13, just showing some of examples, some of our marketing. We also have our foundation, the opportunity for people who want to give toward a lot of our community efforts. We do have an annual dinner auction coming up on April 29th. They're actually going to be in person, so it's a trend. So that'll be at Timbers. But the next couple pages are just pictures of some of our marketing, and then on page 16 is just the regarding our dinner auction coming up on the 29th. So we're actually raffling off I call it a side-by-side, so something that if you're interested in, you don't have to attend, but you're interested in being in that raffle. But again, we'll talk a little bit more about where all these funds go. But if you go on to page 17, we had 285 donors this last year, give almost a little over $158,000 to our organization. On page 18 is engage, and that is the other part of our organization. One of the key things about a health system is that our goal is to focus on 100% of people's health, and only about 20% of people's health happens within the doors. But there are a lot of other elements that we feel that are important to address, our own personal health decisions, socioeconomic factors. But that program at our place is called Engage, and we're trying to make sure we're focusing on that full 100% of what our community needs are. And if so, we'll come back to the one on page 19, but if you go to page 20, this is all based on, we are required to have a community health survey done every 3 years. A lot of places do it independently, but we really have some great collaboration in this area. We work with Long Prairie Hospital, Little Falls Hospital, Medina Hospital, and then the area public health agencies. So instead of all doing it separately, we do it together. and we focus together, and every 3 years, we come up with what are those different community health needs that are really need to be focused on in our area. And the rest of the presentation talks about some of those. But one of them is just our big issues are mental health, obesity, and food insecurity are some big ones. But
Yeah,
just
so
go back to these other.
flip back to 19. Because we are a nonprofit, not only are we required to do that community health needs assessment, but we also have to put in strategies to address what's identified within the survey. And so like Tim said, typically what's been identified year over year is childhood and adult obesity, lack of activity, mental health. And so part of that is we need to dedicate some of our funding towards community partnerships or community building. And one larger initiative that we engaged in, actually at the end of 20, moving into 21, is now being called the Lakewood Nest. And what that is the partnership with the Staples Motley School District. So the Staples Motley School District was going to construct a very small single gym at the elementary school once they replaced or brought on a cafeteria as well as a kitchen. And what we did is pooled our funds together to enhance that and make it a larger space with an indoor walking track up above and seating for 1,000 as opposed to 250. So that is out for bids right now, going back and forth with the Department of Ed for review. The earliest that would start would be spring of 23, just again because of materials. But hoping if it starts at spring of 23, it would be completed in 24. So just trying to get people more options to get active when we have surgery patients that come in and they're elderly and we tell them to go ahead and walk so much each day. It's a little difficult in December and January, and it's also difficult for them to drive into Brainerd to go to the mall. So this will give another option for that. The other item mentioned on this page is the Magic Forest Daycare. We do know daycare is definitely an issue for all workforce. We hear it at Lakewood all the time from our employees. And so several years ago, what we did is we rented one of the buildings that we own, the Hagelin building on 8th Street in Staples, to Magic Forest Daycare so they could develop a new daycare in town. They've been at capacity, and so this year we added on to that building, and so now they can double their offerings. So just always trying to be part of the solution when there are needs identified within the community.
Some of the other collaboration on page 21, we had some safety and safety issues regarding transferring across from the care center over to our park. So we did collaboration with a number of State Farm, Five Wing Arts Council, Sourcewell, Knife River, and public health agencies, and actually did a sidewalk that's painted to provide some security for children and seniors going across that sidewalk. The next page on 22 is our big initiative on our food insecurity. Right now in our area, 16% of our children and 10% of our adults are food insecure in our area. So we have a lot of different initiatives that we've been providing for a period of years here. One of the things we did during COVID is that we know, so people are required to stay at home, but then how do you get access to food? So we offered referrals for meals, and so we delivered 16,000 meals to 1,600 people in 2021 who were restricted at home because of COVID. We also have a weekend backpack program for 70 food insecure children in our area. We're working with 125 families on a food pharmacy. We deliver to about 200 different seniors in the area per month. And right now we're distributing 7 tons of food a month to approximately 2,100 individuals this last year, trying to address food insecurity. Then on page 23 is more of our collaboration. We're one of 6 in the country that were able to get this, I don't know if you've seen it, it's called a soda grown pod. It's over at CLC. You can grow food year round in it, and right now they're producing 75 to 100 bunches of lettuce per week out of there that we're able to distribute out into the community. On page 24, all part of our community health effort. If individuals have projects that want to work on community health, they can submit requests to us for consideration if there's different groups, and we can help fund different activities to try to address these different food initiatives, food and also community health initiatives that need to be addressed. Go to page 25, just talking about our future, just on the last 2 here. It's one of our key goals, we want to remain independent. We want, and it's been our goal, not ever to levy. So far, we've kept that commitment since 1973, so we're pretty proud of that. But also, how do we make sure we're providing a full continuum of services to this area, focusing on quality service and price. Again, focus on our total health needs, try to be a great place to work, try to listen to the community, knowing that loyalty is sure changing out there in this market for everyone, and how do you continue to work on loyalty, technology, and just try to keep a pulse of what's happening. And boy, you know, what is the normal now going forward? How do we fit in as an organization and for our community? But we will continue to work on that. That's been traditionally what we've been trying to do, and we want to keep doing that. The last one on leadership, we as our organization have the most present and past board members who are certified. There is a certification you can apply for. For our organization to have the most in the state, something we're pretty proud of. It talks about our board leadership we have. Appreciate Lana and, you know, and her involvement. I think also Stephanie Jordahl. We have Jim Hofer on our system board. We have Amy Prokachik representing Villard. We got Frank Coquette representing Motley Township. So we definitely have that representation on our different boards. Again, Dr. Cray replaced Dr. Moe on our system board. And this will be my last presentation here. So I retire on December 31st. So this has been 42 years. So when I started, so this is so the board has had a great process. I had to give a 2-year notice. So, but they've been doing a lot of work. Really, it went back almost, but they've been working on this for almost 4 years. So again, I think a lot of credit to the board about the planning moving forward. And so they will have. There will be an announcement within probably the next month. So what we're trying to do is have a replacement identified so that I work till year end, but it gives time to transition plan. And so that's definitely process is getting down near the end to at least identifying someone, and then from there it would be transition for the rest of the year. So, so again, I just want to give credit to the board for all that. So anyway, that's, again, appreciate all the time you did allow us here, but there's a lot that happened this last year, and we're just proud to be able to serve, you know, this area, and we'll open it up for any questions that you might have.
Any questions?
And from anybody. So.
I have one question. You know, I noticed a lot of the stuff is a lot of staples, which is not a problem, but is there something we need to do to be more, I noticed that now with some board members, maybe it'll help. So we can maybe collaborate with something and do something over here. I mean, I hate to be, I almost feel like we're left out.
Yeah, and it's starting to happen. So I think with your representation, yeah, that there are some things, and that is, it's really happening now more. Like if there's discussion, it's really fun. They're going, okay, that's fine, but what about Motley? So at least Motley is part of, it's becoming better part of the conversation.
Good.
So,
because I think with the way the schools, everything has went in the past,
yeah,
it's so important to get this done, and I've lost sleep at night thinking, how are we going to do this? How are we ever going to fix this community where we can feel part of it and people won't have a hurt feeling? So it would be nice if we could, you know, if you guys need anything as far as the city-wise goes, I mean, reach out if you need, you know, a board member or you know, we want somebody on a community or a committee. If you reach out to us, and we'll do what we can do in our part too, but we would sure appreciate anything we can do.
And we do have Kurt Mappereggi as our board chair too, so you know, he's pretty tied in with Trident, so that helps as well.
Good.
yeah.
There's a few
You're right.
initiatives that are.
Oh, I forgot about Kurt. He definitely makes that call. That's the board chair.
Yeah.
But I mean that in a positive way. But I mean, I think you're really getting some representation in board leadership that are continuing to state, you know, you got to make sure you're representing everyone.
Yeah, most definitely.
No, and I guess we encourage, the reminders don't hurt, keep addressing that, keep bringing it up. So that's.
Yeah, if there's questions, reach out.
Yeah. No, we appreciate that.
Perfect.
No.
Well, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Congratulations on your retirement.
Yeah, already got plans.
I bet. All right. We'll move on to Department of Planning and Zoning. Letter from David Hannon. Pat, you want to talk about this?
Yeah, if I understand it,
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
the variance that we're being asked to approve, he would rather we not approve it as presented. He doesn't want to approve it as presented. And I think the best option we have a couple options. I mean, we can send it back to P&Z, or we can approve it as is, or we can approve it without the conditions he's objecting to. My personal opinion is to send it back to P&Z to reconsider. Because the property owner is not happy with it the way it is.
Right. And being P&Z approved it, we almost need to follow their recommendations or take it back and let them revisit it. Is my opinion.
Yeah, I feel the same way, yeah.
Okay. All right, so let's just put that back on the P&Z agenda. for review.
Can we do a motion on that?
Yeah, we can do that.
I'll make a motion to bring it back to the planning zone.
Okay, we got a motion from Carlson, looking for a second.
I'll second that.
Second from Hutchinson. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Split lap memo, page 13 to 34.
That's the variance, that's what we just
Oh, that's what I
said.
just, okay, we don't worry about that.
So,
So we can skip all this now, the resolution we can skip too.
right.
So, all right. Fire department.
Yeah, the month of February, we had 6 medicals, 2 more vehicle accidents, and 1 fire, for a total of 9. Item 1, hose tester. If you remember last fall, I was trying to pinch some pennies and save some money for a hose tester because our new truck isn't capable of creating the pressures we need to test hose. And we had a truck breakdown, so that fell through, but I put the handout in front of all of you. This is the quote I got, and I was hoping to have one here and demo it before I brought it to you, but that hasn't happened yet. And we're waiting for Sourcewell to tell us what they have, so that's available. So I guess this is just an idea of what we're looking at, and I'll bring it back up next month.
Is your budget able to handle this?
Yes.
So is there a reason we want to wait till last month, or you want to just get going on it?
Well, I want to see what Sourcewell
Comparison
has.
prices.
Comparison prices.
Okay. So this is not something that has to be done like in the next month or two?
No, as long as I have it by September,
Okay.
August or September, that'll be fine. So I'll probably have more information for you on that next month. And we have 2 open positions on the fire department, and I have 4 applications. I'd like to set up a hiring committee and do some interviews.
Okay.
Good turnout this time then.
Yeah.
Who do we normally have on your hiring committee?
Myself and Kurt and Steve and one other firefighter, I believe.
This was last time.
I think it was Brian.
Depending on the date. We want to put those down and add Jace on there, and if Jace can't make it, at least you still have enough. Jace can be the backup guy, so in case somebody can't make it, we can have, that's okay.
That's all I have. And I'll be able to do that. Check your schedule before I make anything else to that.
We should do a motion on that, they'll make a motion to do hiring, accept the hiring committee as mentioned.
So how many members did you have? Was it 4? Steve, you, Kurt, Brian, and Jace. Did I miss anybody? Okay. So I will make that motion that we have a hiring committee consisting of Steve, Brad, Kurt, Brian, and Jace being the alternates.
All right, motion made by Hutchinson, looking for a second. Second by Reagan. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, you have anything else? Brad, do you have anything else? I'm sorry. Does anybody have anything for the fire department? No. All right, then we'll move to police department. Jason.
Right, the report's on page 29 of 31. Got a total of 89 calls for the month of February, bringing us up to 178 this year. And you can see the list of calls there if you have any questions. If not, number 2, looking to get approval to enter a contract with Morrison County to obtain 2 new squad cell phones through them. Currently, we're paying about $85, just under $85 a month for our current phone. We can actually get 2 phones through them for about the same price. But they want to have a contract with us to do so, I'm sure, so that to make sure that they don't get stuck with contract through Verizon. So that way, Cody and I each have our own squad cell phone. Ends up being we forget in our pocket and we go home, and then the other person's without the phone until the next day or next shift, whenever that may be. So,
Okay.
if you guys are okay with that?
One motion.
Yep.
I'll make a motion to approve that request on this new cell phones.
Okay, we got one motion, looking for a second. I'll second it. Second by Carlson. Any more discussion?
I just have one question. What, do you know what the price was going to be for the 2?
My understanding is that they'll be able to obtain the phones for free, so they won't have to pay for the phones, which is what happened with the county deputies, and then it'd be $40 a month for each phone.
Okay.
I don't know if there might be some fees and taxes that.
Oh yeah, I'm sure for the initial setup. Okay.
But, yeah, it's $40 a month per phone, and then, like I said, right now we're paying right around that $85 range for the ones.
We're out of the contract with the one.
Correct.
Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Next thing is looking for your approval to accept a scholarship from the Minnesota Chiefs of Police Association. After our last council meeting, I learned that there was a scholarship available for our Chiefs of Police conference that's coming up in April. So I applied for that quick, and I did receive an approval for that, so they will send us a check for $850, which covers the conference and most of the hotel costs. I'm just looking for approval to accept that.
I will make that motion to accept it.
I'll second it.
Motion made by Carlson, second by Reagan. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Next, looking for approval to apply for a grant. That's through the Leona M. and Harry B. Hemsley Charitable Trust, which goes through the U of M. They are looking at providing law enforcement with new AEDs for their squad cars. It would be a free unit provided to us, as well as an 8-year service plan that comes with it for free, and free replacement of pads or antenna pumps. So, no cost to us, we just got to apply for the grant, and then it may take up to 2 years before we receive the product, depending on where we fall on the list of distribution.
Make a motion to approve that.
Motion made by O'Regan, looking for a second.
Second.
Second by Hutchinson. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
And that's all I have, unless you guys have anything for me.
Anybody have anything for Jason? All right, Public Works, Bruce.
Okay, page 32 is the report. We're digging the wire loop tomorrow morning, so we'll be doing some detour around that area. Got any other questions on the report?
See, it's getting muddy back there already. Hopefully, I can make people look through there.
Yeah, we'll have some cleanup afterwards after it dries out actually.
Right.
And some grass.
It's not really their property,
No. Well, it's
well, some of it might be, probably DOT.
DOT.
Yeah.
And what is it going?
Right.
Someplace to get out. And I don't have anything else this month.
So, Bruce, I know I texted you about the charging station. Are we getting Fed funds for that so far? Does anybody know?
Yep.
Okay, so it's working.
Yeah. We just started in January, so we got the first payment in January.
Okay, so everything we had planned. and
One
stuff.
per month. Collect and then they give us our percentage.
Can I ask them where we're at, like how high is it? We're
It
getting-
wasn't much in January.
Okay.
I
Let's
had
see what it
to
is
check
this
again
summer.
in February was, but yeah, I would imagine it would pick up.
This summer, yeah. Okay. Any questions for Bruce? All right, administration. Kurt?
Water usage spreadsheet is page 35, and you can see pretty high percentages, and that's, we got that week, so hopefully after you get that week, does it and fix, that would drop down to where we like it, under 10%, so. January was 29 and 20%. As far as administration, that's all I have there.
Okay. Anybody have anything for Kurt? If not, we'll move on. We'll go to old business. We have nothing. New business, June Fest Committee. Page 35.
Jason had filled out applications for the special event and liquor license applications on behalf of the committee, and submitted them to me, so I think the request there is, there's approval of those pending any, going through the state as far as liquor license, and possibly waiving the fees, which I believe is $25 for the special event and $10 for the temporary liquor license.
Okay. I'm going to make a motion to that.
I'll make a motion to that.
No, go ahead.
Motion made by Reagan,
I'll second.
seconded by Carlson. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Looks like it's going to be quite a fun event this year.
Yeah, we're hoping so.
Picked a bad year for it, I'm going to be busy. Okay.
If I can, Mayor.
Yes.
One other thing on there too is we're looking for possible financial support from the city again this year for a donation for June Fest to help pay for all the activities and items that we're doing. So, I know in the past, I believe it was $3,500 the city was donating, and last year they donated $6,000. So we're just seeing what you guys are available or able to donate towards helping us out with that.
Kurt, do we know what the balance is in the 10% money?
Between 27 to 28,000.
27 and 28?
And that might be a little more, I think we just got another payment for, or from the Lions Club for their 10%, so, and that's where that comes out of, the 10%.
Yeah. I would say, considering the way everything's going as far as cost goes, since we got enough money, I would I stay with giving the 6,000 again this year like we did last year.
Okay.
Because, I mean, they're gonna have to pay a lot more to get a lot of this stuff in than what it used to be.
Right.
So I would make a motion that we go with the 6,000, the same as last year.
Okay, motion made by Reagan, looking for a second.
I'd second that.
Second by Hutchinson, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, looks like accept Morrison County Grant Fund for cleanup day and recycling is 36 and 41. We do that every year. You want to make a motion to accept that donation?
I would make a motion.
Motion made by Hutchinson, looking for a second. Will second that. Second by Carlson. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next is the township fire contract approval pending receipt of signed contract with Moose Lake Township. Is that an added township or what?
Yeah, that's the township that they had reached out last year, but they had a year yet with, what's up there? Pequot Lakes, and they liked the boats we sent them. And this contract would be a 2-year, we normally do 3 years, but to get on the same renewal as the other ones, we drafted up a 2-year contract. Then they'll be on the same loop as the rest of them.
Okay. Need a motion to approve that.
So moved.
Motion made by Reagan, looking for a second.
I'd second that.
Second by Hutchinson. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We have 2 resolutions. We have a 2022-9 and a resolution which is the precinct in Morrison County for voting, and also we have one in Cass County, or for Cass County, which is 2022-10. We can do both of them in one motion.
And these were, background on it, due to the 2020 census, every 10 years they do redistricting, and even though we're not changing we don't have different wards and stuff like that, we still have to reestablish, even though we're not changing, we'll have to reestablish that. So Cass County is the mail ballot, and our residents would come here. More. So that's the background on that.
All right, looking for a motion.
I would make that motion.
Is that for both of them?
For both of them, correct.
All right, motion made by Hutchinson, looking for a second.
I'll second that.
Second by Carlson. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Faith and action donation request is page 48, 49, and I think that has to do with hospital, right? Is that what we just seen?
No, it's actually, this one's Horizon Health.
Oh, Horizon Health.
That's kind of a yearly thing too. So like last year, out of the 10% fund, we gave them 500, which I think, yeah, they requested that at the second to last paragraph on page 48 there. It's 500.
They're the ones that own Harmony House and Sunny Park.
Yes, yeah.
I would make a motion to approve that $500 request.
Motion made by Reagan, looking for a second.
I'd second that.
Second by Hutchinson. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. This is the Motley High School grad blast donation request, page 50.
And that one's also one we did last year out of the 10%, and it qualifies under the 10% family funds. We did 500 last year.
Can we up that to 2 500s? Or maybe, oh, this is grad blast, never mind, I was thinking.
Oh,
this is,
no, that's scholarship, that's a
Scholarship.
different thing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's fine. Looking for a motion to approve the $500 donation to grad blast.
I don't.
Motion made, yeah, by Reagan, looking for a second. Second by Carlson. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next one is Staples Motley School. Oh, we did that one already. Next one we don't want to do. We'll skip that one.
Let's skip that.
So we have the clerk resignation and posting of new position. Amy, you want to read the letter? End here?
Yep, I do. Okay, it's from Kurt Bernarski, addressed to the Motley City Council. Dear City Council members, please accept this letter as a formal notification that I am resigning from my position as clerk treasurer with the City of Motley. My last day of full-time employment will be April 11th, 2022. I have accepted a position with Morrison County. Thank you so much for the opportunity to work in this position for the last 2 years. I have thoroughly enjoyed my time here in Motley, and I have gained lifelong friends. The experience that I have gained in government accounting and administration will be a great asset for the rest of my career. If allowed, I would like to stay on board part-time until my successor is hired and settle into his or her new role. I want to make the transition go as smooth as I possibly can. Please do not hesitate to contact me with any questions in the future. I wish everyone that I have worked with the best of luck in their future endeavors, and I hope to stay in touch. Sincerely, Kurt Bernarski.
Congratulations on your new job.
Yeah, it came up, I formally got an offer Friday afternoon. And yeah, it's just kind of the end goal type of position for me, and I guess I kind of talked about all you about that.
Okay. So one thing I want to add to it is I appreciate your time here. You have seriously been one of the easiest employees or clerks that we've had to work with. I appreciate your knowledge. You made, when things arise, you stayed calm, you handled them well. I have no complaints. I regretfully see you go, but I'm also happy to see you join your new career. Everybody deserves that. So, as much as I didn't want to see you go, I had to give you a good reference when you called me. So, I wish now I wouldn't have. Congratulations.
Steve's aware too. We actually had a phone call with him today, and he said he dropped off his performance review, which will open up later, I guess. But he said he did. After I told him this, he said he's glad he did it in pencil. So I think that's
Yeah. All right, I'm looking for Kurt's resignation, motion to accept, and I think we can also make in that motion that we drop him down to part-time, just to help us out until the new one is. That's very, tells you what kind of guy he is, the fact that he offered that. So if somebody's ready to make a motion to that, I would be open to that.
Regretfully, I will make that motion.
Okay, motion made by Amy Hutchinson, looking for a second. Seconded by Reagan. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We should have probably put in our motion, we can do another one that you don't get any benefits, right, when you're part-time?
no.
Right. We should probably put that in there.
And that's kind of per policy even, so as soon as I drop down, it kind of
Okay,
is
so
kind of
then it's over.
I guess the only other thing would be getting a motion to post the position and maybe see if you want a range, like steps 1 to 3, 1 to 4.
Honestly, I was going to talk to you guys about that, but I was thinking that we stay at just that starting range and leave it at one step. If you open that up, then you got negotiations, and it might be just smart to do it. This is what our wages.
Yeah, I kind of agree. It's nice to just see it there. I mean, with other employees in the past, they've always known exactly where they start.
I mean, it's different if somebody comes in with clerk experience, and then we could be open to that. But if we put it on there, then everybody knows they have options to that. So I think we can keep it. Maybe Amy or I can get together with you and make sure we have it the right way. But yeah, we should post it as quick as we can. What are you guys thinking? Does local papers or?
No, I don't think so.
Is there any other spots?
I do have contacts for the, one of the accounting instructors at CLC. And in the past, I have notified them because they do a job posting. And with the end of the year coming, they may have some graduates that are looking, so.
In League of Minnesota, cities will put it on their site for free. And then,
Okay.
I don't know, Morrison Record, I think they work with like Jobs HQ, so it's on the website too, so. So we can put in both papers and it's in a few other places too.
And run it for what, 3 weeks? Can't do much more than that.
Yeah, we'd wanna, I suppose we'd wanna establish, like, we wouldn't have to have a close date, but maybe like a first review of applications is gonna be this day.
Right.
And I guess we can talk about that in the next couple of days here before I can get that posting sent out as far as schedules.
Well, April 11th ain't that far away, so we're gonna have to keep moving on. So, get that posted, and, all right, that sounds good.
So do we need to make a motion to do,
To post the position.
post the position and then maybe put it to committee? So like you, Amy and Kurt to.
For the hiring committee?
For the hiring.
Yeah, I suppose we should probably think about that.
Mhm.
I think last time you did it.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so it'd be you both and then
You and Amy on the, from the council?
it was Bruce and
Bruce.
Jason, and me, and well, Matt for Randall. So
Will he do it again?
He probably would, I guess.
I didn't ask him, I talked to him
And it's
today.
up to you if you want me to reach out to him.
Wouldn't hurt. Are you gonna be able to do it?
It depends on,
We have enough people, you know. So, yeah, put you and Matt as an option, and the rest of us can be on the board, or on the hiring committee. We don't need to go too big because it takes too long otherwise.
Amy and Al,
Jason, Bruce,
Jason,
you,
for sure.
you and Matt, if you can't make it, maybe Matt can.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, motion made by Carlson, looking for a second.
So moved.
Second by Reagan, looking, all in favor? Or any discussion first?
Pay grade 10, step 1 would be,
That's when we should start, yeah. Do you guys wanna redo your motion to that?
Yep. Yeah, I'll redo my motion to add pay grade 10, step 1.
Yeah, okay, all right. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, public, anybody have any other new business? So then we go public forum. I don't believe we have anybody from the public. Council forum, anybody from the council have anything they want to address or talk about? All right, upcoming meetings, looks like planning and zoning is going to be Tuesday, March 29th. Next regular council meeting is going to be April 11th. Be Kurt's last day. He's going to provide pizza and ice cream. Board of Appeal equalization meeting is going to be April 19th at 9 a.m. here at the City Hall. And I think Pat and Amy, you guys are the trained.
Correct, yes.
I should be able to make that.
Okay. Citywide garage sale is going to be Saturday, May 6th and 7th. Citywide cleanup day is Saturday, May 14th at 7:45 to 10:45 a.m. And at this time, I need a motion to close the meeting for employee performance evaluation.
I will make that motion.
Motion made by Carlson, looking for a second.
Second?
Second by Hutchinson. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.